And in today's video, I would like to share with you the tagline that I've been using for my website. To be quite frank, I have changed the tagline more times than I can remember. Yeah, so it started off with design a better life, to something else, to the last one was about you know uh, start, build, and grow a business that sets you free. Um, and I've been thinking about that quite a fair bit, and I've wanted to kind of shorten it into a slightly shorter phrase so that it's easier to say and also easier to remember. And it kind of ties in with the approach that I'm using as I'm working on this business that sets me free. So the key idea is that yeah, first and foremost, it's about a business. Yeah, and it's not just any business. It's a business that sets you free because I don't want to be tied down with certain constraints like time and location, or intellect, or even you know um, in terms of I have to fulfill certain things. So I want to do it at my own time. It's something that I want to do. So I kind of link it to the idea of ultimate freedom, live freedom as I call it, location, intellectual, financial, and time. So, but I want to shorten it to just sets you free because freedom could mean ultimate freedom for me, but it could be something else for you, right? So a business that sets you free. And instead of start, build, and grow, I've decided to kind of shrink that and make it a bit more succinct. And the term or the word that I'm going to use is design. Now, why design? Because at the end of the day, I think for us as entrepreneurs, we are the one who are ultimately responsible for designing how the business should be. And in this case here, I would like to see me and the 1,000 solopreneurs that I'm reaching out to design a business that sets them free. So why design? Because I'm a design thinking practitioner for since 2010. After I've been trained in design thinking, I've been helping schools in implementing or using design thinking in the classroom. So, for example, using design thinking to design lessons that teaches students 21st century competency. I've also used design thinking to help schools in designing a better culture to enhance staff engagement. Um, and in last year, I've actually worked on this very ambitious project with a school to incorporate design thinking into two things. One is through the professional learning community for the teachers, and the other one for integrating design thinking into project work for primary school students. So I have been using design thinking, I've been teaching design thinking, and I have also been a practitioner and an advocate of design thinking. So a lot of that I know about design thinking is through, the hard knocks, through implementing it, through testing it, through failure, and many a times, all these learnings and insights are the things that I've kind of gained, and through it, I'm applying the same set of principles in designing a business. So in design thinking, if you look at what, for example, IDEO proposes, they have three key phases. The first phase is inspiration. That means you are inspired by wanting to solve a problem. Yeah, and through the inspiration, you go on to the next phase, which is ideation. And in ideation, that's where you look at, how I could come up with ideas to solve that problem. And then in the third phase is about implementation. So after testing and all, this is where you come in and you implement it. All right. And many a times when we talk about implementation, we're also looking at prototyping, for example, through a series of tests, refinement, before the final optimal solution is being presented. All right. So in my own experience, I have kind of used that model, but I've also modified it. And the model that I now use, or the approach that I now use, is what I call the CLIPS. Now, CLIPS stands for challenge. So first you need to identify the challenge. So in my case, the challenge is I want to design a business that sets me free. And the next thing is learn, L for learning. And so that's where I go into learning about the different types of business model, learn about how other people are doing it, learn from my own mistakes, for example. And then I is ideation. This is where I come up with ideas of how to put together a business model that works for me. And P is prototyping, which is what exactly I'm doing now. I'm creating a series of prototypes to kind of help me, design the business that sets you free. And lastly, S is for scale or for share. All right. So this is where I look at the end of the day, after I've gone through the whole process, to kind of share what I've learned with the people out there, sharing with you, for example. Yeah. So for today, I'm just going to talk about the tagline of my website. So the tagline is design a business that sets you free. So in the process of it, I am not saying that I have the only method and the only approach that works. I'm saying let's use design thinking and let's look at how in your condition I can help you design a business that sets you free. So here's my call to you. I'm looking for 1,000 solopreneurs to kind of join me on this journey to design a business that sets you free, right? You could be already on a journey, or you're just starting, or you have already been trying but have not been successful in designing a business that sets you free. There has to be a way, and that way can be found. All right. And so my call to you is for you to join me. The best way for you to join me is to check out my website at melvyn.me. That spells MELVYN.me. And you can sign up to join me in this journey to design a business that sets you free. This is Melvyn Tan signing off. Bye-bye.